Hello world, I'm Chris Pirillo. Sorry about the creepy introduction there. I didn't mean to seem creepy there if I came across that way. You're watching the LockerGnome Daily Report, or TLDR for short, your daily dose of geek news, gadget, or product views, and answers that you can use. And I do this live on YouTube every single weekday. And I have to say that I'm very happy that we're still growing, 861 patrons strong, well on our way to our next goal. I plan on creating one new gadget video a week. That's going to be our new goal when we reach a certain level, because I'm trying to build up the support that way, because trust me, it's the only way it's going to be able to continue. So I threw a whole bunch of new bonuses out there for patrons. If you want to become one, it's easy to do. You can use your PayPal account, go over to chrispirillo.com. The big news that I have to share with you today is that Game of Thrones Season 4 is over. It was really kind of disappointing. I was watching, and I realized, wait, this feels like it's the end of the season, and it is. 10 episodes. That's frustrating. And I don't want to post any spoilers here. There are two primary characters or established characters who have now been potentially mortally wounded, but I don't know if they died. I don't want to read the book. That'll just spoil the whole show for me. And I know some people say, what? It's the show that spoils the book. Did they die? You have to email me, though, chris@pirillo.com. I don't want to spoil it for anybody else, but I'm left wondering if they indeed did shuffle off this mortal coil. If you're not yet watching Game of Thrones, you are missing out. It's certainly one of my favorite shows, and now I'm going to have to wait probably another year or so before the next season. That is so disappointing. What am I going to do in the meanwhile? Well, I could read some bits of news. Patron Earle Greene sent me a link saying that the airports that are out there, for airplanes, Diana, she's in Texas right now. She's flying back home today. She wasn't really gone for long. Airports are now going to use passengers' Wi-Fi devices to monitor security wait time. Potentially a privacy violation. But I'd imagine you'd be connecting to the airport Wi-Fi, which for the most part these days is usually free. I don't recommend going through open Wi-Fi access or open wireless access points, if only for security reasons, unless of course you're using some kind of VPN software or go-between between your device and the networks. You never know what's potentially happening on the network you're connecting to. So this, I don't think, is a bad idea. If the airport were to, say, track me in exchange for getting free Wi-Fi, that might be valuable, because then I wouldn't have to use my data plan, and I know I could get online and do things as long as I was doing them safely and securely. As I said, through some kind of VPN service, I'd be okay with that. So yeah, they're going to use the technology to see, how long it takes for you to get through a line. Okay, not a bad idea. I know, like I said, some people's privacy, if they have privacy hairs, they're standing straight up. Does that mean, do people have privacy hairs? I don't know. If they do have privacy hairs, I don't know if I want to know where they are, because I think it's better to keep privacy hairs private. That's just me. A brief update on the big LG monitor that needs to be connected to either a new Mac Pro or a PC. I don't have either a new Mac Pro or a compatible PC yet. No new Mac Pro. I don't have a countdown for it because I don't know when it's going to happen. It's just not in the budget. Sorry, I'd rather pay people than get a new computer. It's just kind of how I feel. So I'm still working on a sponsor for that, and hopefully it will happen soon. Russell, a patron, emailed me, and I'm surprised I have not heard about this today, because he emailed me over the weekend. AMD is looking to enter the tablet business. Finally. Yeah, so it's going to be like I guess not exactly a new thing for AMD, but, Intel's been, driving forward with tablets, releasing, tablets. Okay, I'm not talking about the traditional tablet PC tablets, because those were around forever. And I'm not even talking about slate PCs. I'm talking about tablets. Not exactly like an iPad, but more like this type of tablet than traditional computing tablets. So AMD is finally jumping in, and that is a long bit of overdue news, I think. It's always good to have competition, and I'm rooting for AMD. Obviously, nothing's shipping yet. What had happened was there were new pictures that have been put out there and showing off a new tablet PC device running on running on AMD's platform, not to be confused with Android. I know some people say, AMD and Android, I confuse them all the time, Chris. So here's another little gadget. Now I showed this in the Patron exclusive video last week when I was talking about a topic, answering someone's question. This is the Kick, and it's an LED bank that is controllable. See here, I did this before, and I don't want to go through the setup again, but you can basically turn it into it's a Wi-Fi hotspot inside. This takes a little bit of working to get operating properly. It's broadcasting an SSID. Let's see if I can connect to it to see if it's going to work more easily for me now than it did before, because when I was doing the other demo, I was having issues with it. What you can do with this Kick LED bank is control it by way of a smartphone app. So now I could, see here, turn up the brightness just a bit. There we go. Okay, that's the lowest brightness right there. But then what I can do is I can open up a slider window and actually change the color of the LED, the brightness and color and contrast and everything from the smartphone app. Kind of neat, isn't it? So here's a good gadget for you. The reason why I bring this up, and now I'm going to turn it off, is because these are on sale. And I've got a link and I've made a deal for you. The link is in this video's description, deals.lockergnome.com. Gadget discounts, software discounts, all for you, baby. And even if you're not a baby, well, I'm calling you my baby, because I have one. I've had one for quite some time. Absolutely recommended if you were ever looking for an LED bank controllable color-wise, contrast-wise, or I guess brightness-wise. And can you really adjust contrast? Maybe not contrast, brightness. Right there. You can either use the buttons on the side or the smartphone app. One of the better LED banks that I've had the pleasure of using, and it's now on sale today. Take advantage of it. You should. I'm asking, would you please take advantage of me? I'm sorry. I yelled, and I know some people don't like it when I yell. I did not mean to yell. Have you commented yet? Do you know how to comment? You might think you know how to comment, but as a part of what we've been doing with an ongoing series of a little bit of sarcastic information, OMG, obviously missing guidance. Get it? OMG, obviously missing guidance. That's what I think it's short for. We are teaching you today how to win at commenting. It's really easy to do. If you want to win as a commenter, you have to follow the guidelines that we've laid out for you. It's really, really simple. OMG. The video is in this YouTube channel. If you have not already watched it, I published it this morning. On Friday, I published TGIF, How to Star Wars, or How to Get Started with Star Wars. That turned out to be quite a popular video, and it will continue to be, because people are always asking me, Chris, how do I get started with Star Wars? Well, now I'll tell you, watch the video. Or better yet, if someone comes to you and says, how do I get started with Star Wars? You can tell them to watch the video. Just like if they violate one of the things about how we're teaching people how to win at commenting, if they do something they shouldn't be doing, you should send them a link to that video, the how to win at commenting. See, those are the types of videos that I want to do. You know, they'll have staying power, right? And they're kind of fun, informative in either a straightforward or a sarcastic way. Come on, I'm about as sarcastic as it gets. On Friday, I also published my thoughts on Samsung's recent announcements. I didn't do a video, but it ended up being like a blog post that I posted just to $5 patrons on up. And I'll continue to be, I think, producing more written content for patrons, because when I put them on the open web, people, I think, appreciated that, but inevitably, very few people would read what I put out there for free. So I'm going to make that a new bonus. My thoughts on Samsung's announcements. And I actually found a mistake that Samsung made. It was kind of funny. I mean, not a horrible mistake, but it was pretty like, huh, I wonder how that slipped by them. So if you're interested in my thoughts there, I've got that link for you in the, this video's description, as well as the links to the other things. This morning, I had someone ask me about the cable management that I use on my desk, and you may have seen it before, in the vlog at least. I'm not going to reposition the camera, but I ended up tweeting that as well. I use a certain kind of cable management, very, very clean, very simple, and, you know, to me, I'm a big fan of lack of clutter, and I admit, you know, that I collect things, right? And that to me, that's not clutter. Those are collectibles. Clutter, collectibles. Clutter is just a whole bunch of junk. Collectibles are things that you value and treasure and, you know, are actually worth something. So if you've been looking for a cable management system, I found that these have worked the best for me. They've been the most flexible. They've been the most affordable. And they come in black and white that I know of. I found the link on Amazon for this person, Sruli, I believe is how you say his name. And he asked, I answered. Very, very happy to answer these questions. Here's another bit of exciting news. I wish I could show you the screenshot, but I don't want to go that far because I don't want to offend too many people. I want to offend just enough. Not too many. New emoji are coming. Unicode 7.0 has basically put within its constructs I think more than 250 or right around 250 new emoji. So emoji are cross-platform. You don't need to have an iPhone to use them. Twitter supports emoji outright. Google Chrome still sucks at emoji. How it's gotten this far is beyond me. Firefox supports emoji, at least on OS X. Chrome does not. Which is depressing. Android does support emoji as well, and I mean just to give you an example here, what can I do without violating anybody's privacy? I'll create a new email message. Here we go, and we'll do that. I'm going to demonstrate the emoji if I can't because I need to. Come on, God, don't you just love when devices don't cooperate with you? So there we go. So I've got a new email message open, and you can enable the emoji keyboard, and they're little pictorial icons or pictorial representations of real-world objects. Well, a new emoji that's coming, or maybe even virtual objects, these little pictures, right? And those are actual, characters that you can now send to somebody or post to someone or tweet them. There's a new hand gesture that's coming with a new emoji that is... Okay, let me put it to you this way. This is what imagine, use your mind's eye to imagine this new emoji that's going to be coming. It's happening, and it's happening soon. It's this hand without this finger, this finger, this finger, or this finger. There's a new emoji coming that's just the middle finger outwardly facing. So this apparently was the biggest request for a new emoji ever. And it will soon be everywhere, the middle finger on the internet. Yeah, that's, how's that for news? The middle finger is coming to your emoji keyboard. I'm kind of excited about that. It's not exactly a slow news day, but it's a fun little thing. Here's another product view. I have continued my Star Wars figure collection with not just the Cantina scene, but also Jabba's creatures. This is, okay, I'll let you fill in the blank. Not Klaatu, not Nikto, but the one in the middle. Who is it? Klaatu, Nikto. And Amazon sent it, and what is up with Amazon? This is like the second or third time this year. Look at this. It's all bashed in. I mean, the figure's fine. I'm not too worried about it. But Amazon did a horrible job at packaging. So I'm glad that I'm going to be removing it from the packaging, because otherwise I'd be really freaking upset, man. I can't be the only one, who's been upset about getting packaging like that. Cassie Lowe says, I've wanted a middle finger emoji for a while. See? I'm not the only one. Andrew Garcia, watching the live video, says, zip ties are my cable management. I don't mind zip ties, but it's still too many cords and cables. I'm not a fan of the cords and cables. Let me go ahead and run through the list of $25 patrons to give credit and website credit. Akufu.com. Matt is actually working through something that may end up turning into a certain patron bonus for some of you, as well as an update potentially to one of our websites. I don't know. I just wish I had more time and expertise in my pocket, and I don't. And it sucks. You know, we were hit pretty hard with Google Panda and pretty much had to figure out what we're going to do with LockerGnome.com and Chris.Pirillo.com. And I think Matt has a pretty good idea of where I wanted to go with it. So it's just going to take some time to possibly implement it. I don't know. Matt's a really good guy, as is, you know, everybody who's back here and anybody who's, of course, tuned in. We gained a few new patrons over the weekend, and I'm grateful for that, because some people just seem to be, I don't know, entitled, and they believe that anything I do has to be for them, and I just don't work that way. Hang on. And I mean, some people get upset, and I don't know why, and then I get upset at them because they get upset at me, and these are people who want to know what it is that I'm saying, but they're not willing to pay for the banana. Here we go. Barada. Oh, I just cheated. Sorry. I wanted you guys to guess. Oh, I'm sorry. The two worlds, one cup? Is that, no, the two, was that it? Was that the thing that's going on right now? There's a cup that's happening. And apparently USA is playing right now. So give us some updates if you can, all the patrons who are tuned in live. Basherverse, did you see? Basher is a patron too. One of the world's biggest Minecrafters, is a huge supporter, and I'm very grateful for that. I've been wanting to do a collab with him, but I can't figure out what yet. So there's Barada, who's much more attractive. He's going to continue, this guy right here, he's going to continue to do the rest of the video. I got to be careful. I shouldn't blur out the names back here because they deserve credit too. So let me know who's winning the two worlds, one cup. That's a great title for this video. What do you guys think? Something like that? Don't ever watch that movie. Which, by the way, very happy to say I've never seen the movie that I'm making fun of indirectly. People have tried to get me to watch it, but it's never going to happen. The Transportation Department is seeking regulation of smartphones and mobile mapping. It's a big deal. One of the #1 killers these days in cars is distracted driving, not drunk driving, because you take your eyes off the road for just a second, and you don't know what's going to happen. That second could, you know, spell the difference between life and death, yours or somebody else's. And so the Transportation Department, at least here in the United States, is saying, hey, we need to regulate this stuff. Well, how? How? I mean, I understand, you know, they're going to be able to regulate the product in the car, but there's times when I've got the product in the car, but I've still got this, I mean, the GPS that's built into a car. I'm using my smartphone, or my wife might be using her smartphone at the time that we're driving, because the mapping is better, honestly, and it's easier to use on a smartphone than it is in one of those built-in car nav system things. So, it doesn't surprise me that they're trying, at least, but I don't know how the hell they're going to do it. You know, it's difficult to regulate, and I understand why, but I just don't know how they're going to be able to pull it off. And, I plan on this is another one of those topics that I want to kind of dive into a little bit, because I think it's worth thinking about, and maybe, you know, possibly dive into how I try to keep myself from distracted driving. And it would be kind of interesting. I won't record it with me. I'll have Diana in the car with me. Maybe I'll record a video on how I try to avoid distracted driving. But I think it's important. You know, when I vlog in the car, and some people say, "Oh, you should be careful," I'm like, to me, I mean, I don't even pay attention to the lens. I'm like, I'm driving. I'm talking to someone in the car. That's as distracting as it gets, because what did I always say? Chris Pirillo here with 2 hands on the wheel and then 4 eyes on the road. You know, that's my mission. I am driving. It's what I'm to do. So I don't know how they're going to pull it off, this transportation driving. Okay, so for this next announcement, I'm going to have Barada do it. I'm going to slip off my chair. I'm going to kick in the screensaver. Oh, live video on YouTube from Chris Pirillo. You never know what he's going to do next.
Don't worry. This is a plastic gun, and I'm not pointing it directly at you. I have no idea what I sound like as a character, but you're just going to have to go with me on this one. I sound like that D'Onofrio guy from Men in Black when he became the alien, you know, at the beginning. This is me. Okay, so the next news is that Weird Al Yankovic is going to be posting a new album very soon. Weird Al, he's got a new album out. He posted a tweet teaser and then a photo from the album cover the other day, and then he posted something to his YouTube channel. And Chris doesn't subscribe to a lot of people on YouTube, but Weird Al is one of those people that he absolutely follows and watches everything that Weird Al does. Because Weird Al is the OG, original geek. Ah, yeah, you like that? I figured you would. Okay, well, I'm going to let Chris continue with the video now.
Thank you, Barada. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know if he was in focus or maybe that was in who cares. Han Solo in Carbonite, life size. Would you like him? You've got a chance. They're doing Sideshow Collectibles in conjunction with Think Geek and Empire Magazine, not to be confused with Esquire Magazine, two completely different types of magazines. Normally, this Han Solo in Carbonite will cost $7,000 or so. They have a payment plan. I don't plan on getting one, unless, of course, do they want to send me one as a review unit? I'd be happy to review it. No problem. I'd do that. I would totally do that. I bet you anything I could convince Diana to let me put that in the dining room. The dining room. We don't dine in there. It's the Lego building, live streaming, random crap room. But, you know, that's long. I get out of breath every time I say it that way. So, you can win life-size, super high-quality Han Solo in Carbonite right now. The link to the tweet is in this video description for more information. So, good luck with that. You could have Han Solo in Carbonite. Not a cardboard cut. I mean, it's like, it is really Han Solo in freaking Carbonite. Awesome. Awesome. I can't win. I guess I'm not qualified because I'm just, you know, spreading the word because they're my friends. Well, at least some of them are my friends. Not all of them are my friends. Han Solo's not my friend. Okay, I'm not trying to depress myself or anybody else out there. So there's a little bit of a bonus for you. And speaking of Star Wars, come on. I got this weekend, went to a Seattle area YouTuber meetup, and met a young girl, 9 years old, Kaylin, and she vlogs. You know, she's not much of a geek. That's okay. I still think that what she's doing is awesome. She's 9 years old, and she's vlogging, and she's putting her life out there, and her mission is to, you know, help girls become more beautiful or bring out their inner beauty. And I was blown away. There she is on Twitter, and she posted a video where we were talking back and forth, and I tried to give her some advice with her coming to the YouTuber meetup. After the YouTuber meetup, I ended up, and by the way, my vlog from the YouTuber meetup has not been posted, so you'll meet Kaylin directly through my vlog or our vlog in the other channel at some point. I got this. It was on sale at the Disney store. There is no Star Wars store. I would have killed for something like this when I was a kid. Look at that. Pencils, colored pencils, and scissors, so I won't cut myself. Or I guess little toy scissors. I mean, they will cut, but it's designed for kids of all ages. It's like an art supply book. What do they call it? Zip-up stationery kit. So you can actually create stationery. And if it's moving, then it's no longer stationary. Aha! Ba-dum-bum. Yeah, puns don't work very well when I'm speaking them out loud. So yeah, a lot of fun things happened this weekend. Oh, and speaking of, I've got something that I've been kicking around. The other YouTube channels, pretty much only for vlogs, and that's really what we've been posting there for quite a while after we launched this channel earlier this year. But not a day goes by when someone doesn't ask, Chris, what about the geeky videos? It's like they didn't listen, or they're not paying attention. Like they're only following me on YouTube? It doesn't make any sense. So I need to figure out how to do a weekly update of sorts in the other YouTube channel to push people to this YouTube channel. And what I'm thinking, if I can find, you know, a way to do it, is taking bits and pieces of the live video, you know, that I do every day here, cram it all into one short video and post it to the other channel, like This Week in Geek or something like that. And so the idea is that people can find out what I was doing in here and the live TLDRs and whatnot in the other channel. So the hope is that we can continue to, you know, keep things flowing back and forth between the two channels more easily. Does that make sense? Because otherwise, you know, I got people who don't listen, and they want to listen, but they're not listening. Crazy. How to make bacon grilled cheese sandwiches. This is something that I know you're curious about. I didn't even know it was even possible to do a bacon grilled cheese sandwich. I found out because Diana made one, and she recorded a video on it in her YouTube channel. Now, the reason why I bring this up is because, number one, I love bacon and cheese and sandwiches and Diana and food and anything she makes. So it's kind of a love combination. she set up her own Patreon campaign. She's got patrons now, and she's going to very simply share all of her videos 1 week ahead of time to the patrons, and everybody else will get them, you know, when they are officially published. But I ended up, you know, sharing her special how to make bacon grilled cheese sandwiches today. So if you want to see that, you can, or you can wait till it's published in her channel. What is the future of the Mac Mini? Now, this is a question that was asked by Yasir Faheem this weekend. Why do you think Apple has not updated the Mac Mini since 2012? And if Apple would kill the Mac Mini, what do you think would replace it? Maybe a low-cost iMac. I've got my thoughts on this, and it's actually going to be today's separate video, like a what would you do or a Q&A with me and you. Q&A with me and you. And I do 5 of these Q&A videos, separate videos, every week, 4 exclusive to patrons. One of them is public. This is the one that is going to be public, so stay tuned for that live broadcast video thing if you would like to watch it after watching this TLDR. See, Cassie Lowe notes here, a highlights video for the other channel would be a good idea. I have a friend who follows the vlog but doesn't know what is all posted on this channel. This is what I was thinking, Cassie. The only thing is it's editing video is already time intensive. My time's already tapped. The person I've been working with, John Prosser, his time's already tapped. So I would need to find a new or a different way of being able to do it. And I don't have the answer to that question yet. It's possible that if we were able to build it into maybe a patron goal, like a financial patron goal, then it would be possible to do for everybody. Because then I would be able to pay someone to do it. But up until, you know, that point, I don't know how or when it's going to happen. Adam Tom says, why not do a simple outro clips on your vlogs to get more people aware of this channel? That's a good question, Adam. I guess I hadn't thought about it too deeply. Of course, I got the intro, which kind of sucks. In the other YouTube channel, I have not even bothered to make an intro for this channel. If you can figure out how to say something like that in about 3 seconds, everything that would need to be said, I am all ears. Not really all ears. That's a figure of speech. I'm partial ears. Really here. How's the USA doing in the one world, 2 cups? Two worlds, 1 cup? 1 World Cup, 2 girls? I'll figure it out sooner rather than later. I don't know. I don't know how it's going to go. But I've pretty much said everything I've wanted to say today in sharing this time with you. You know, I'm you know, continuing to do my best to be a better me for everybody out there, and have really appreciated everybody's patience as everything has kind of been in flux for us. And, you know, we're always looking for as much support as we possibly can in just about any way, shape, and form, so long as it's friendly for everybody. I plan on doing some more live streams, potentially with Diana in not just her channel, but the other channel to build awareness. And potentially even doing more collaborations in this channel, much like I do with Jerry, our Barnacles Nerdgasm. I'm still trying to put a finer point on it because it takes time for anybody to want to collaborate. One of the first ones that I've been meaning to reach out to, and we talked about it briefly, Linus, because he had me on the WAN show, and I need to return that favor. I'm trying to put my head around how that works, and I don't know if that would be a fully public video, you know, or how it would work necessarily, or if it would work like I do with Barnacles Nerdgasm, you know, and it may end up going down that path. And then maybe if I can pull it off, have 10 big geeky YouTubers in a Google Plus Hangout all at one time. That would be awesome. That would be awesome. I'll work on it for you. Just have a little patience. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. Thanks for liking, commenting, sharing, subscribing, being a patron, watching even more of our videos right now on this channel or the other channels now, plural. We're a YouTube and family with Diana at the helm now. I really appreciate it. And I appreciate you, no matter who you are, where you're from. If you like me, I like you back. It's a very special relationship that we have. I'm going to go ahead and leave you to your own devices, set the stage for my next live video, which you should be able to watch here after you're done with this one. We'll see you later.